Okay, in my assisted technology schmore, I explain how I use GarageBand as an assistive technology within my classroom. GarageBand is a great tool, and it's not only used for music. So I encourage you to fool around with GarageBand and get familiar with it. I created a podcast, so what I use it for, one of the many things I use it for, and then here in my schmore, I'm going to put this tutorial in so that you can make your own podcast. This is a huge tool for students, especially those students that you are putting up for special education services or accommodations. It's a powerful tool to create a podcast of their oral reading fluency. And since in your audience at those meetings, typically it's the educational diagnostician and the school psychologist, so what better way to show them the reading ability of a student than to pull out a podcast of the child reading. It's been very powerful for me, and I've shown other teachers in my building how to use it, and they enjoy it also. So in the beginning of the year, the kids come in, they do their oral reading fluency, and then we look for growth in the middle of the year and again at the end of the year. If there's no growth, then that's an indicator that there's something else going on, and you take it to a meeting, or you can use it at conference time with the parents. It's very powerful. So all of that is right here, and this is how to use and make an oral reading fluency using GarageBand. I'm sorry, making a podcast using GarageBand. So on your Mac, click on GarageBand. It's in one of your applications, and look at all the things that you can do in GarageBand. And the older kids get to do this later simply by creating their podcast first. So it's very powerful. You teach them this, and then all of a sudden all this comes. So I'm going to do a podcast. I am going to name it based on the name of the child. So Mary, Boyorf, and that simply means Mary's beginning of the year oral reading fluency. And yes, I already made one for another podcast. So here we are. So now we are. You pick here under the track. It's this easy. It's a female that I'm working with, and the child has either another iPad in front of them with the oral reading fluency in front of them, or simply a piece of paper. And I prompt them, I tell them I'm going to hit the red button after I count down to 3, 2, 1. They're going to read for a minute, and here is the timer here for me that helps me keep track, so it's all in one. So I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, and then here we go. And you'll see the purple line start, and that's me talking right now. So, and again, the timer's going. So let's pretend we made it to a minute and the child is reading, and they're done. Simply hit the red button again, hit the space bar because it keeps moving. You can move the space bar back to the beginning of the track, and then here we go. And you'll see the purple line start, and that's me talking right now. So, and again, the timer's, so when I click off the space bar, I can stop. If I want it to, if somebody walks in my classroom or messes, the phone rings and it messes up, I simply just stop and I left click over the purple bar and hit delete, and that's gone, and we start again. It's no big deal. So here we go. This is the one I want to keep. Okay, I go up to the share button and I hit share. And I want to send this podcast to iTunes. So you do have to have an iTunes account. And here is my playlist. I already have it all set up, and I put it to share. And this project will not export as an enhanced podcast. It doesn't matter. It comes out perfectly anyway. Just hit continue. You can experiment with that later. Now, again, it goes right to my iTunes, and you'll see and it pops up right here. Line start. There it is. And that's me talk. So then I simply take that, and there's all the ones that I've made, and again, it's all date oriented, so mine's at the bottom. And then I simply take that podcast and I stick it into the child's wiki space, and at conference time, I pull it up, and then during the year, they can sit and listen to themselves read. They can read their writings and create their own podcasts. Like I taught second grade last year. By the end of the year, they're creating their own podcasts. They're doing it on their own. The older kids, again, I show them the podcast, and then they're like, "That's it, Mrs. Flowers. That's how you can use GarageBand." I'm like, "That's it." So then they learn how then to put music to it. They start doing assignments, and reading orally and using different voices. So it is a fabulous tool. So that's just a quick little tutorial on how to make them. Thank you.